So speaking of plugins real quick, and I don't know if you're going to get to this or not, what plugins, because I think this is what a lot of people are kind of familiar with, especially if you've been around blogging for a while. They say, you know, you got to have these plugins. There's always these recommended lists. I always tell people I have my top 15 and then my top 40, you know, list kind of thing.
Yeah.
Does this theme also have plugins built into it?
Yeah, really everything that you're seeing here is actually, I call them modules rather than plugins. So everything that you're seeing here um, replaces some plugins that you can download elsewhere. But the best thing about having these plugins or these modules that are already built in is that they're all completely compatible with each other. The other great thing about it is that um, we're going to be doing the updates for it. So you know that it's always going to be compatible with your theme. It's always going to be compatible with the other modules that are already installed. So you don't have to worry about anything conflicting or breaking your blog, because that's the last thing that you want to have to deal with.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is so huge. Now, you know, with the with what we're into with the whole syndication and tribe revolution that we're really creating a wave online right now, is this theme syndication ready? Is this does this theme have the ability for retweets and Facebook share and all those cool social icon or social bookmark sites and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The next feature that I have is the social icons, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can set your social icons on your blog sidebar, and then I'm going to actually talk about the syndication for the social media. Right now, on the social icons page, you can really add just about any social media website that you're on. So, of course, we have the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Digs and the LinkedIn, and I'll show you how easy it is to add your own icon widgets. So, right now, I already have YouTube set up, and I'll show you how easy it is to add additional social icons. So I want to do Facebook and Twitter. All I have to do is click on Facebook and to select multiple links or multiple websites. I just need to hold down the control key and click. So I got Facebook clicked already. I'll hold down the control key and click Twitter. Now I've selected both of those, and then I'll click this little plus symbol right here, and boom, it adds fields for Facebook and Twitter. Now I just need to enter in my username for Facebook, which is Clifton Hatfield, and for Twitter I can enter in enter in the username as well, which is also Clifton Hatfield.
Wait, what happened to the full URL? You don't need to add that?
No, you don't, but that is an option. I actually added that as an option, so you can actually put either or. You can put just, Clifton Hatfield as your username, or if you would rather, you can put HTTP, :/ twitter.com/Clifton Hatfield. You can do it that way as well. Additionally, Ken, this is really cool. This is where it gets really cool. If you want, let's say you use Twitter for your Twitter URL, you send it through any kind of URL shortener like bit.ly. You can actually add that URL too. So let's say my Twitter URL is bit.ly / whatever random generated number that they give you, and I click save. What that does is it adds that link to your Twitter icon. So when they click on it, it still sends them to Twitter, but it sends them through this link that you've designated as your URL shortener.
Okay, now that is cool. But okay, but explain what the benefits of using that.
The benefits of using, for example, this URL, the bit.ly, is that it tracks how many clicks that URL receives. So if you want to know how many people have clicked this Twitter URL, or click this Twitter icon, you can add the unique URL that they've given you and place it right here in the text field. Click Save, and it tracks it. So every time somebody clicks that Twitter icon, you can log into your bit.ly account and see how many clicks that it's received. And it will accept any URL. So for example, the URL to my Twitter account that I use is twitter.com, twitter.cliftonhatfield.com, and I'll save it. And that URL also takes them to my Twitter account. Now that's something I've set up separately, but that's just an example of how these fields will accept any URL that you give it.
So
it's really flexible.
That is so cool. So if you already have a subdomain, basically, which is what the twitter.cliftonhatfield is, you can enter that. But that Bitly one is really cool. So you can really measure your exposure rate. Really, if anybody's coming through your blog and going out to your other social sites, you can track that.
Yes, definitely. You know, and I thought that if somebody didn't want to mess with that and they just want to, you know, be really simplistic, then all they have to do is add their username, you know, and it does the exact same thing.
That is so cool. And there is a difference. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to just put their username, and that's fine. But there's other people that really, in my opinion, they're really professional marketers, which are always measuring their input and output and their return on stuff. I mean, they really want to know that it's their metrics. So if you have somebody that really wants to do that, watching where people go, like the analytics and these kind of things using the Bitly accounts are just phenomenal. That's hot. That is really, really hot.
Thank you. Now, we were talking a little bit earlier about syndication. Oh, real quick, before we move on, I want to show you how to remove an icon if you decide you don't want it on there anymore. It's really simple. Just select it, delete it, save, and it's gone. It puts it right back down here into your add list, so you can add it later if you want. So, you know, that's just in case you decide you want to remove an icon, you don't like it there anymore for whatever reason. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the syndication, how you can really syndicate with this theme and how everything's built in. So we'll head back over here to my blog. Let's change some settings real quick just so we can get it back to the default state. We'll move the sidebar back to the right side.
Now, and while you're doing that, I just want to say what syndication really is for anybody that's listening to this and not really sure what is this syndication stuff. It's basically the act of sharing other people's content and all over the net. So there's many, many ways to do that. And with social media, it's really pretty simple. So if you come to somebody's blog, like Clifton's going to show you, and you can leave a comment and then, you know, retweet it, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. That is syndication in its basic forms right there. There's many ways to do it. There's several advanced ways, but this is really, it's your exposure rate. You want to get good content on your blog, and you want other people to see it, and you want them to be able to share it with their friends, and then you're going to go and share theirs with your friends. So this cross syndication is what we build into our tribe. So that's so important with the blog.